Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we back at it again with another great episode for you. And you already know who I got with me. It's your boy, Mr. The man, the myth, the legend.
Twa.
Yes, sir.
Excellent intro.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there real quick. So hold on, let me say it.
Oh, shit.
Yes, sir. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special episode coming for you guys today, and a very special guest. Well, two very special guests actually. We're gonna start off by introducing the first guest, and we're gonna let our first guest introduce our second guest. So for today's episode, we're gonna call this. Don't mind me, I play Apex. We're gonna call this the Triv Town Takeover. Yeah, so we got Mr. TzMac back in the microphone. Tz, how we doing today, bro?
Hey, man, we good, man. We here, we alive, we blessed. You know, let's get it.
Yeah, I feel it, bro. Appreciate you for having us again, or coming out and joining us again for another great episode, and all the fancy new equipment you brought over to make this stuff happen today.
Hey, you know, I got this shit in my trunk, bro. You know, when you're a techie, you just have technology just around you, bro. So
for real.
That's what we do.
Yeah, and I feel it. That lets me know I'm a car guy, cause I got just oil and shit in my trunk. Y'all niggas got fucking microphones and speakers and shit.
Yeah, I got video, I got a switcher, you know what I'm saying, wireless microphones, camera. Yeah, right. we could do a whole show out of my trunk. Yeah, let's get it.
Statement is better have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Period.
Exactly.
And then why don't you introduce the guest, brother?
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, I've been knowing our guest we got to have here for many years. BC, you know what I'm saying, from the school days before, you know what I'm saying, Lee Middle School and all these different things we've been going through for sure. But yeah, BC is like I call him the architect. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, if you watch the Matrix, yeah, he's like the architect for sure. Yeah, he's got all the knowledge and information to really get it popping. So BC, what's good with you, man?
That's a good intro, bro. I'm a regular scammer from North Las Vegas. You gotta see me like I'm finna be saving people.
Hey,
getting together to scam somebody.
hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, scammers need love too, for sure. So
exactly.
we got it, man. We got like I said, we got a good episode coming in. Hold on, we got some static. Was good.
Not sure what's going on with that.
Hold on. I think we good.
Yeah, it's not good on my side. I heard a little bit, but we good.
Yeah, you hear loud and clear, right?
Before we start, though, I do want to say I'm a big fan of the program, and I think you got something substantial and positive and community-oriented that's actually different than all the stuff I be seeing on the internet. So I wanted to give you your props on that, before I come and talk about scamming on y'all airways and ruin y'all value.
Nah, man, look, we truly appreciate that, man. It's been a lot of hard work, a lot of struggles, up and downs, but at the same time, we just keep swimming and, know why we're out here doing it for, never forget the idea of just trying to bring positivity to the world and brighter mindsets, man. So, no, I truly appreciate that, bro.
Okay, and I don't want to interject, but that was like my first question of the day, too, right? Because, this is the Just Keep Swimming podcast, right? JKS podcast. So I'm just curious to know, like what does Just Keep Swimming mean to you, right? Like, so, because, like, when I think of Just Keep Swimming, right, it's like, all right, we could be swimming. I don't really know what type of body of water we're in, right? Like, are we in a pool? Are we in the lake? Or are we in the ocean and we just gotta keep swimming forever? Like, do we get to the promised land at a certain point and sit and have some Mai Tais on the island?
Right.
Or do we just like keep swimming until we drown and die? What does just keep swimming mean to you?
From my point of view?
Yeah.
So from my point of view,
Let me guess first.
Yeah, please.
Real answer.
Yeah, BC, you got a short amount of time. I need you to go.
Yeah, no, but no, because I was thinking about that the other day too. I was like, is this instructions? Like I'm telling you to keep swimming, or is it like an affirmation? And like the more and more I thought about it, I think like, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, bro, but it sounds like, it's an affirmation you make to center yourself in discipline that's going to benefit you in the long run.
Nah, hey man.
Like,
Exactly what
go ahead.
To me, that's what it seemed like. The Just Keep Swimming thing is just like control the mechanism that you can control, you know what I'm saying, until it's automated to where you're not even worried about that no more. Like, you're going to see the challenges in front of you, but you just swim past them because the time going to pass anyway. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well put your effort into, like, focusing on being forward. I don't know if that's what the show about, but for the last 15 episodes I listened to, that's been the theme to me.
Yes, no, and I agree with that, and I love the way you put it, because you, like you said, a little more articulate than I would have put it, but no, that's my exact mindset, bro. It's just like, yo, just keep swimming, man. Like, we all athletes out here, you know what I'm saying? Y'all legs used to be cramped up and tired, but it's like, nah, just push through, you know what I'm saying? One more play, one more rep, one more whatever it is. We were musicians over here, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all be tired. It's like, no, let me just do one more loop for this beat, or one more thing for this beat, And it's just like, just push through. Like, one of my favorite words in life is perseverance. Continuous course of action in spite of difficulty, And it's like, I feel that that's just something that we all just need to live by. Just, life is going to be difficult. If life was easy, it would be no fun. You know what I'm saying? Who likes to play a game on easy all the time? Like, after a while, it has to get on hard mode. And it's like, are you going to quit? Or are you going to just keep swimming and keep pushing through? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to keep fighting? Are you going to keep punching? Are you going to keep riding? Are you going to keep walking, keep stepping? Whatever the hell you want to put it. But yeah, it's pretty much like you said. It's a daily affirmation for yourself. Like, I know times is hard, but man, just keep swimming, bro.
And if I can interject too, from like my half of the thing, I loved how you said, BC, discipline. That word stuck out to me, because for me, it's every week we got to come out with an episode. We got to do an episode. We got to record, and that's one thing that I can't give up. It's similar to the gym. It's like, yo, I got to make this consistent, because this gives me some type of purpose and direction in life that, like, if there's one thing, there's a guarantee, is I know I got to make this episode.
Right. And that's what it is. At the end of the day, I know I'm going to work out my mind at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I may not work out my body like I should have, but like you said, it's a gym. I got to keep my body pushing. I got to keep rolling with it. So I got to work it out, you know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with that, because like the way I look at it at a high level, like looking over the outside looking in, I see most people, their relationship with discipline is as a verb. Like, it's an act. Like, my discipline, like, I had to make myself do something. But like, the true definition of discipline is a branch of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? It's a specialization. Like, my discipline, this belongs to me. Like, I am the character that produces this. It's not me walking. It's not me running. It's like, I've become the discipline. So like, the just keep swimming affirmation, it's like, once you've done this long enough, you've become the presence that you were worried about in the past. Like, you've become the entity that can keep you sustainable. So I'm on board. I'm a fan. I should get it tattooed.
Exactly. It's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. I love it.
And I love it too, because there's been multiple times, like, we've been doing this for 2 years, bro. There's been a good couple times where people ask, yo, like, you do a podcast? Like, I low-key want to start one. Like, how did you start this? Or the pastor just asked me this last week where, hey man, like, I really want to start getting like a church podcast going. Like, can you send me like all the things that I would need, and then maybe like one or two times, or once or twice, just teach me how to use this, and so I can sustain this on my own. Like once I just figure out how to work the mechanical shit, like I feel good. But like getting asked for advice about something that you're versed in, that you have a discipline in, that you, like you said, you have knowledge in, is powerful. It feels great.
Yes.
How did that work for you? You like it? Like when people is like, "Hey, teach me the game, Ghost." Are you like excited about teaching them, or are you more like, "Man, you gotta swim on your own. I'm gonna throw you in the water"?
I mean, shoot, why am I telling you to keep swimming if I'm not going to help you out? Like, I'll be more than happy to help you out. Like, we all swimming in this together.
Yeah.
So, like, hey, ask me to start your own thing. What would you want to talk about? The only thing I ask when they ask that, or when random people ask, is like, what is it about? Like, what is it? Is it going somewhere? Because that's how you get your content. Mm-hmm. But if it's just talking about whatever, like, yeah, I'll help you out in terms of like performing it, but like, I would just behoove you to find like a direction, because I mean, if you're just swimming and talking in no direction, you're just floundering. You're not really moving. Yeah, I want you to.
They're
move.
Recreational swimming.
Exactly.
They in the jacuzzi.
I mean, I wouldn't consider jacuzzi, bro. I consider that the apartment pool, low key. Like they're just in there splashing around because they can splash around, but it's like that's the difference between like you said, the girls on Sunday at the pool and freaking Michael Phelps. You know what I'm saying? He's in the ocean swimming across. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then I guess to go a little deeper to what Triv was asking, he was asking like, what's the destination? And I explain this a lot of times in my episodes, that the destination is always never permanent. You know what I'm saying? The destination isn't permanent. Like, you're going to get there and you're going to be like, oh, cool, I can now bench 355. But, or that's a lot, 255. But then it's like, okay, let me get to 260. You know what I'm saying? So that's when you got to jump back in the water and start to swim again to get to where you need to be, So that's my mindset of like, with this whole podcast. It's funny how everybody's like, how'd you start it?
So when does it become rewarding, like with the podcast thing? Because I get what people saying. They like, I want a podcast, but they don't got no audience. Like, when did it become rewarding for you?
So for me, it became rewarding literally after the first episode, before we even aired the bad boy. Just the idea that I said, damn, I just did that. You know what I'm saying? We talked to Triv, we went and run around, got all this equipment, and freaking New Year's Eve, everybody out turning up, and me and my bro in here shooting our first podcast episode. Yeah. And that's when it became rewarding to me of like, okay, I'm doing something different right now, and I know I'm doing something different. Mm-hmm. And then, I get rewarded every time we finish an episode and the person is like, oh, good question. I love to hear the words "good question."
Got him, coach.
Like, got him, coach. I got him to think a little bit, Yeah. Like the idea that I just been talking to this person, I learned something from him, and it's like, oh, like a few episodes ago, we did the episode with Roxy on Flight Attendant. Shout out Roxy, and that was just crazy because I didn't even learn the things she taught me about a flight attendant. I wouldn't even thought about, like, you got to go to work and be there at work an hour and a half early, clocked in, but you don't get paid until the doors are closed.
Better ask her for a buddy pass. I know that.
Nah, look, I rocked with her for a long time, bro, and it was just the idea that she's been flight attendant, she's been doing it for a long time, and at some point I see that, oh, this person has some experience behind something that the normal person doesn't know about or doesn't even think about. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I'm interviewing basic people, allegedly.
They see themselves as basic.
They see themselves as basic, exactly, and that's what it is.
I don't think they're basic though, because like the way I look at it, it's like a lot of people will like they'll downplay their 10,000 hours. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To where like the degree where you are like you talking to a subject matter expert,
right?
Like outside of the institutions and the corporate lifestyle, you won't really see too many subject matter experts validated. Because you can't really quantify their experience. So like us as a society, we downplay it and say they regular. But in real life, like this person is the highest level expert you'll ever meet. You know what I'm saying? It's the most valuable resource you can come across because it's free to interchange with.
Exactly, you know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I've been, I love that thought process because I just got done reading I Am the Word. And one of the things he always tells you to practice is to sit back and just pay attention to people. Mm-hmm. And then look and be like, yo, this person's living out their purpose right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I have no idea what this person's going through in life or whatever, but at the same time, this person's where they need to be, doing what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's relaxing, working, shoot, this right there, like you said, this waitress had been 10,000 hours in, and she's the ultimate waitress. And if you actually watch her, you'll start to see like, damn, she is out here like running like it's a ballet, compared to new Stacy over here who can barely hold a plate up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, but it gets more transformative because like if you got the right mindset while you just watching this waitress, you'll realize the competencies and traits that she's enacting in her workplace. Like, you'll be like, okay, she got good time management. She can multitask. Like, she's got all these different competencies that she's choosing to apply in this situation. But, like, you know, they're interchangeable whatever you go through in life. Like, dang, I could probably manage my household. Like, you know, they sit this guest section or whatever.
No, and I fully agree with that. 'Cause that's like the quote-unquote resume hustle. You know? Like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a dog walker. Okay, deals with difficult people. You know, that's something you can put on your resume now. And then it's like, based off the stuff you do in your life, boom.
Yeah, and shoot, I think that got me, like, doing the podcast and saying music as a hobby on my resume. Like, the last 2 big interviews that I had asked about it. And I was like, oh, why? Oh, you really do that? Oh, that's cool, that's cool. It's like, oh, how'd you get into that? It's been brought up. And it's regular, it's a low-key a hobby type thing for me because it's just like, you know, I'm not getting immediate return from it yet, right? But people see the investment and it hits them a different way. You know, it adds value to yourself, and then you also get to see the value in other people as you do this, like, this art, this craft, this art of podcasting that you would have never seen them before, and you start seeing people in different light, and as well as yourself.
Nah, these are the
So with that, y'all still in the hobby stage? I thought this was, you know, critically acclaimed.
I was saying that was back when we first started.
I thought I was finna meet Big Act next. I didn't know what was going. Like, y'all, this what you do right before $1 million worth of game.
We talking about the past right now. We was talking from the humble beginnings. We're great right now. You came onto the podcast saying so. Like, we hooked everything up. We were ready to go. We were waiting for you for a second. Then we ended up waiting. You ended up waiting for us, but we was ready. We got it going.
Yeah.
You in Arizona, bro.
Y'all funny.
Yeah, folks in there, I'm not gonna lie, we move different out here. This is a Republican state. I'll be like, y'all not on time, I'm out of here. I'll come back.
Shoot.
Nah, these are the facts, man. Nah, and I appreciate this conversation and appreciate what's going on here because, you know, what we looking to do is just a meeting of the minds here, right? Like, we want to see, all right, like, are we in the hobby stage or are we in the multi-million-dollar stage? You know, we could always strive to, you know, bench more reps and to do different things that, you know, support us or really just encourage us to keep going in these small gains. But like, what's the end game for us? You know, if we're here and we've been doing podcasts for 2 years, what will really keep us going? You know, is it 1 million views? Is it 2 million views? Is it a certain amount of money? Is it sponsorship?
Is it even finite?
Is
not finite.
Is it finite? Is it something? Yeah, is it something that? Yeah, that's even tangible at all, or like you said, finite. Yeah, what? I mean, if you reached a certain status, like, would that help your family more, or would that help yourself more? You know, I guess.
I think that like it's a curse within our community because we never really been taught the values of infrastructure. You know, like, we never really had an institutional advantage to kind of say, like, this is your market placement. Because, like, most people would be like, I'm not going to take this seriously until this goal is sufficed. But if you look at any, like, startup or something, they jock in for, you know, market share. They like, we don't have to be the best. We don't even have to be at our goal. You know what I'm saying? As long as we can understand our presence in this market and operate within that presence, that's the reward we're looking for. So I think a lot of content creators, they get caught up with the reward. They like, man, I need the YouTube plaque or I need the ad money. Yeah. And then the whole time they're developing, you know what I'm saying, an ecosystem of like minds that people that want to help each other out. Like, that's, y'all already at the end goal, you know what I'm saying? You've already materialized a place where solutions become possible. So like, as the creators of that, how does it like how do you guys deal with that? Like, do you guys deal with it like, oh, okay, we're the creators of this proprietary space, or like we still haven't done the work yet? Like, where are y'all at in terms of, you know, what you're offering or your placement?
Interesting question. So I feel that personally, you know, this is my baby. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like asking, when would a parent stop loving his child? You know, I feel like I'll never stop loving the idea of doing a podcast and what I do. I do want to grow into other areas and figure out how to do other things. Like, for example, when Tz was talking about the other interview he did earlier, and she was talking about, you know, I guess she was a rapper, I guess, too.
Singer, yeah.
Yeah, so she's an artist and a podcaster type deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, you know, that right there kind of got me to, like, me personally, I need to find more avenues, you know what I'm saying? But as for, like, the podcast end goal, you know, of course, you know, I would love to get a lot of views and stuff like that, but I'm loving who I'm helping right now, and it's helping me out more than anything, you know, like, sometimes it's like therapy for me, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's just like you said, I feel it's don't monetizing value to it. Like, somebody came up to me, it's like, I'll buy you out. I'll be like, you can't buy me out, but you can pay me to do it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you couldn't buy me out, though, because this is mine, you know what I'm saying? But you're more than welcome to sponsor me and join me and give us money to shout out whatever you're doing, if I like it, you know what I'm saying? But I have to like the product that you offer me, because I'm not about to just promote any type of product on here either. You know, like I said, it's 100%. This is our creation, you know what I'm saying? I created this for my brother, so it told me long ago, so it's like...
Is that an aspiration?
Say it again?
So, like, is that an aspiration? Because, like, one of the things is, like, you spoke on an important theme for content creators, and that's, I guess, establishing decentralized networks. So, like, with that being said, is that a thing, like, is that a goal for you guys? Like, hey, we want to make proprietary content that's good enough to be distributed through a third party, you know? Like, is that where it's like, is that the next step where it's like, yeah, I want to sign with Barstool, or I want to sign with Volume? Or is it like, or I want to build the volume? Like, philosophically, which direction y'all going?
They
be tough questions, because I be nosy.
Nah, you good. I like him. Got me thinking.
I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, that would be cool. If we could get paid for this and, like, live out this, that would be cool, but that's not the purpose. Like, I'm still making an effect no matter what, if I'm getting paid for this or not, and I'm doing it for the sake of that personally. Like, I'm happy to be able to influence some, even if it's a minuscule amount. I have dreams to save the world, but hey, that's probably not possible. But I'm gonna do the best I can either way, because I want to, and that's who I am. And I'm just gonna keep doing this, and being able to sustain that type of energy is my quote unquote end goal.
Perfect. I like that.
It's like, no matter what the fuck I'm doing, whether we get big and make money or not, I'm still doing this because it's what I believe in. And honestly, sometimes it's hard to believe in something.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I feel...
So what weight does the engagements have on you? Because, like, a lot of content creators, they like, I'm not finna do this shit if it's not popping. How does the engagements affect you? Are y'all gonna still give a considered effort with a little audience, or what?
So, like you said, right now our audience is a little audience, and that has zero effect. Like, real talk, I was telling you guys the stats today. Today was like my first time checking the stats in a long time.
I don't check it either.
Yeah, I don't check it. I just post. Yeah. I just post my episode, find me a title, shout out who I need to shout out. You know, always tell the person, yo, this is your episode, do what you want to do with it, promote it how you want to promote it, put it on your website, put it on this, that, the third, whatever you want to do with this is your episode. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And after that, I'm on to the next one.
Yeah, it's trying not to, at least my mindset about it, I try not to spoil myself with keep checking it. Like, you know how you put something in your microwave for like 2 minutes, but you're hella hungry, so you kind of pace around for what seems like a minute, but it was actually 5 seconds, and you looking back at the clock and you keep checking it and it's going slow. Like, I'm not trying to put that shit on myself. I've done that a lot of times with other avenues in my life. I really care about this.
You had a hot pocket that's cold in the middle before.
Exactly. And that's our spot.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'ma just let it do its thing. It's its own entity that I'm propelling forward, but I'm not going to criticize on it or anything. I'm just happy it's there. I'm happy I'm building this with a home, like with a brother of mine. Like,
I'm just having fun with it.
Yeah. Like, to me it brings in more family than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And also spreading in a positive message, doing it a little bit different just in terms of the format. Like, it's our own thing and it's a culture. Even if it may just be between us two, but if it builds into more, we are more than happy to have people join.
No,
and
like
that's what I love about it.
Like today was a fun day just now. Like, y'all came over here, did all this stuff. Like you said, I was mad I had no tree, so I was like, let me go get some down. I should have been with this dispensary looking ass. But yeah, this is cool as hell.
Don't get a white man no money. Y'all, hey, whoever listen to this episode, y'all better go buy y'all drugs off some niggas you grew up with. We got the same drugs as the dispensary. Don't be going to the dispensary because they do tests on there. Just get sick one time.
Man, they be MIA, bro. Every time I look for them, I
I'm
can't
about to use your platform to bring some more economic empowerment to the black community.
Nah, and I love
This
to.
show
I
is
need
brought
to.
to you by, I'm going to say my drug dealer name on here. This show is brought,
Pause. Get audited. But I mean, shoot, high key on that type of energy, I'd love to keep it as, another thing I love about this thing is keeping it as open as we do. Every time, ask every guest, say what you want to say on here, be completely yourself. And shoot, like, it will support the people that it needs to. I kind of lost my train of thought at that point, but I mean,
Nah, I feel it though.
that type of energy though.
The freedom,
the freedom, yeah.
The freedom of it.
Nah, for sure. And just to interject here, you know, this is riveting conversation here. You know what I'm saying? This is the Just Keep Moving
Riveting
podcast.
conversation.
Like, this is what we're living for, what we're breathing for at this particular moment, right? Like, things change from moment to moment. You may have different paradigms or different mindsets on what you believe to be real or not based on your beliefs, right? It's all on your perception and what you think about reality. You know, the way that you view the world through your particular lens, right? So life is different for everybody. You know, we could do whatever it is that we want to do and get our 10,000 hours in on whatever subject that may be had, right? But if you do that 10,000 hours and you're not passionate about it, more or less, does that make you pretty much a perfectionist on that particular subject matter? So in other words, sometimes we do things that we may not want to do. Do we still have value in that particular thing that we've been doing for so long? You know what I mean?
That's what I think most creators' dilemma is, bro. Like, most people unsupported because they not willing to make a distinction between what they offering and what's available out there. You know, like most creators, they be like, we just gonna do this and, you know, be self-serving in our purpose. But like, the audience don't buy into that never.
Right.
Because me as a consumer, I want somebody that's going to guarantee me, like, I'm finna spend my money, I'm finna spend my resources, it's finna be professionally produced, it's finna be socialized, we finna pay third parties to market it. And it seems like with a lot of creators, they want to be more the organic variety than, you know what I'm saying, than the institutional output. Like, they want to do it organically through friends and family. And like, I can't really tell if they in it for large consumption or if they just want to share opinions.
It depends on what their mindset is about it. I feel like, again, it comes back to, are you just making it just to make it, or you have a direction with it? And I feel the propulsion into institutionalize, if you want to take it that direction. Like, yeah, if you want to take it that direction, you'll definitely get there. But I feel if you also just have like a definite purpose and where you're going, it will just naturally kind of come on its own way. And you just got to believe in that. You're putting in this 10,000 hours. You may not want to do it. You may not be passionate within it for moment to moment, but you're still just putting energy into something, and depending on that authenticity, that organicness, it becomes like a living thing as opposed to too structured. And that's a weird type of balance to me, because it's like, okay, I want to be as authentic as possible, and this is who I am. This is the type of vibe I want to. If I go too institutionalized, I have to be proper and censor myself or blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, there's definitely boundaries that need to be kept, but at the same time, it's like, if it's not necessarily infringing off respecting another person's opinion as opposed to my own, and we just talk, then it's too limiting. You don't get to see like a more authentic truth about the universe or people's minds or just life in general. Right. Because you're hiding some part of it. So it's just a balancing act constantly. And I kind of think about this every day too, because I gotta balance my responsibilities and make sure I'm on my shit, but also let myself have fun. Let me enjoy time. Let me relax. Let me do all this, but still be where I need to go. And I feel if you fit that equilibrium, you hit that peace with whatever the fuck you're doing.
Word. That's what I'm personally trying to learn that. So I think I had a self-interest in asking that. Because like, I can't tell the difference between the stuff I'm doing out of obligation or doing out of purpose.
Yeah, that's wow.
Nah, and so like, and I understand that, because that's how I feel a lot of times. And I feel the only way I can answer the question is how does that task make you feel as you're doing it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm at work and I'm sitting behind that computer screen and I'm worried about this damn laptop and I hope my boss, you know what I'm saying? All that shit I'm worrying about shit. And it's like, yeah, this is obligation. You know what I'm saying? I signed this paper, said I'll be here for this 40 hours a week, and they said they'll pay me this, so this is an obligation, so I can pay my rent, shit like that. But when it comes to shit like the podcast, it's like, you know, I'll stay at the work building for an extra 3 hours to record a podcast because they let me record it for free. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole
without a second thought.
Without a second thought, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna sit here and wait for Donovan, and we gonna hang out in my office for 3 extra hours. I've been at work for 12 hours now, but you know what? I got to record my podcast for 4 of those, so that shit blew by. I didn't realize I was there no more. You know what I'm saying?
It's always surprising to see the time like after a bit, and it's like, oh, it went by that quick,
that fast. Yeah. Every time the podcast go, I was shocked. The last week's episode was an hour. Like, it did not feel like an hour to me. You know what I'm saying? If like we was only talking for like 30 minutes or so, like that shit flew by. You know, but it's like the feeling I get when people leave. What I do, I usually clap, don't I? You know what I'm saying? Like, that was a bomb ass episode. I can't believe that shit just happened. Like, it makes me just feel like damn, I'm gonna go run a lap real quick. If it wasn't 10 o'clock at night, I'll go run a lap around the neighborhood, because that's how I feel right now. Like,
it's like even though I use my energy, it gives me life.
It gives me life, exactly.
And then gives me more energy to spend. It's crazy. It's like Dragon Ball Z Broly. This man was so powerful, his ki kept going up, it overflowed, and he still got some more.
Right.
So it's, you know, that's how I kind of feel. Well, just personally, picking up bass. Yeah. Like I wanted to learn another instrument. I've been kind of getting stale and like in a creative rut with my music lately. Let me learn an instrument again, since I played another instrument for 5 years. And you know, figuring out and learning this whole new thing and putting in those hours to become disciplined in it, it gets me excited, because it's just, it jives with my soul at the moment. It's where I want to go.
Exactly. Yeah. Compared to the vice versa of your alarm clock going off at 6 something, you gotta be at work, and you just woke up, you just slept a whole 8 hours, and you tired as hell because now you gotta be at this place that's not vibing with you. You know what I'm saying? It's a place that you gotta not be your authentic self. You can't say the things you want to say, act the way you want to act, and actually just flow the way you need to flow. You know what I'm saying? You constantly stop yourself and bite your tongue, and it's like, yeah, of course that shit make you tired. You know, so you tired the whole day, and the second you clock out, I thought I needed a nap, but I think I might be good. You know what I'm saying? Because you wake up a little bit, that energy's released, it's let go.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm not there no more.
Yeah, nah, this is crazy, you know what I mean? And we talked about that before, right? Like the perception of time and what time means to every individual, and like what is time, right? Like everyone experiences time subjectively, and you know, we have to do these podcasts and go to work and, you know, take care of our children and, you know, balance all these different variables within our means, right? Or within our lens or our perception of what reality is to us, right? And so it seems like we never have enough time to do all of it, right?
Ain't no such thing as time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, BC, what's your perception on time and the time it takes to get an idea institutionalized, or, you know, have an infrastructure for a particular idea? Because I mean, you know, from my experience with you, I know you have, like, I mean, you even got patents and you understand the value of ideas. So let's hear what you got to say about that.
So I think that most people, like, society teach you a lot about time that you got to deprogram from yourself, because they're not saying, like, Best Buy not telling nobody that, like, at 8 o'clock in the morning they have to sell electronics. Best Buy is telling people that there's more activity during this phase of the, you know what I'm saying, of the day. Like, if time isn't it doesn't exist to anything. It's just a measurement of decomposition that we use as a tool. So when I hear, like, creators talking about time when it comes to, like, ideas and execution, I want to deprogram them from that mindset, because your time is really a measure of your decomposition. Like, if you want to be, you know what I'm saying, a podcaster, you're not going to have any time constraints whether you're 6 or 55 years old, because you're not decomposing in that manner. You know what I'm saying? You don't really have to worry about existing in a continuum if you're doing material language. Like, if you're telling somebody something, it's going to live on forever from that moment. So I think a lot of people get caught up in time because they don't see the impact right away. Like, they don't see the results right away. So they're fixated on time so that they can collateralize if they're making a mistake or not. Like, oh, it took this long, so that you can justify it not making the impact that it needed to make. So now we conditioned ourselves to measuring the amount of time everything takes instead of measuring the impact of things we do have.
Yo, okay, wow. Wow. Because okay, before you even started, BC, I was like, yo, sometimes, recently, I'm just like, man, it's not like a deep one, but, like, I wish there was more time in the day. But I'm like, bro, what you just said right there?
You collateralizing the impact that you're not making. Because if you had made the most impact of your life at 6 o'clock in the morning, you wouldn't wish for another second. You wouldn't feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that's a natural defense mechanism to kind of guide us towards our purpose. We feel time when we're not enacting our purpose.
That's deep.
Shit.
That's
deep.
When you do what you want to do, you don't age, bro. You don't. Aging.
You don't.
Yeah, aging only happens. Well, go ahead.
It's
Go ahead,
decomposition, but if you materialize on so many things that bring you reverence without you being the same physical capability, the degree of decomposition won't have mattered. So then the time it took won't have mattered. So you'll feel significance in the reward of it passing by. But if you're not proud of what you're materializing, then you're not going to be able to naturally feel that significance. So it's going to put pressure on you to feel that significance, to, like, at least replenish that significance with the time you do have.
Right.
So I think with most people, it's psychological. We invent time as a constraint to justify the progress we don't make, instead of just focusing on the impact we can make right now. Like, you saw the problem. Right now, you won't need 10 years to do it. But most of us are conditioned to be fixated on the amount of time it takes, because we're going to collateralize every reaction that we have that doesn't or the result.
Hold on, DC.
Hold
That's where stagnation comes from in our community. We can only see the challenge.
Okay, say that last 10 seconds again. Because you were breaking out in the audio.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying that people are so fixated on time because they're adding up this collateralization of things that didn't materialize. So they're using that as a barometer to kind of tell themselves what's possible and what isn't, just based off their own experience. So like, if you focus too much on time, it's just gonna tell you what you can't do. It's more of a constraint. But I see people try to like weaponize and then be like, well, we all got the same 24 hours. It's like, I can make an impact today that'll make it so that I ain't waste time the whole rest of my life.
Yeah, right.
But it's contingent on impact. It's not contingent on seconds passing, weeks passing, days passing, traffic. It's contingent on impact.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense because it's kind of like, so like when you were saying that, I guess my example would be, it's one day I went with the kids and it was like some convention out here in Nesby, and we took a whole bunch of kids to UNLV, walked around campus, went to the whole conference and all that jazz, right? And it was like one of those deals where I didn't realize I was hungry until there was food in front of me type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just in the moment, you know what I'm saying? I was where I was supposed to be. I was out to live my purpose. And like I said, time didn't faze me. Like, we walked around the whole UNLV campus, sat in classes, climbed ladder. You know, it was a long day. Like, by the time I realized I was there for 12 hours, it was like, damn, the whole day going. I didn't realize this till driving home. You know what I'm saying? And it's like crazy. I get what you're saying. That's crazy.
It's just shocking to see when you consciously are able to let yourself go there and take off all that pressure of just being constrained by time. Like what happens when you just clear your schedule for whatever happens, and then you just go do what feels best for you, whether that be hang out with a friend or do whatever you feel like doing, whether it's your purpose, whether it's the podcast, the music.
The day flies by.
The day flies by. Next thing you know, it's 3 a.m. and I'm chilling with the homies still, and we hung out at 6. But we was just chilling. We was in the moment. We was having a good time. We was just shooting the shit. Like,
right.
You know, and you don't even feel bad for staying up that late. Or it doesn't matter to you. The time didn't matter. It was the moment. It was the experience. And when you live an experience, it's like, you're timeless.
You're absolutely right. This conversation is dope, right? Because I'm thinking about like, oh man, well, I got to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning, right?
You choose to be at work. That's where you want to measure your impact.
Yeah, exactly, right? So if I feel like I can make these people happy by the skills that I provide, whether I'm on time or not, like that gives me the motivation or just the, it feeds my ego to be like, yeah, Triv, you know what you're doing. So like in the back of my head, I'm like, well, why ain't I doing something else that I can have an even better impact on and not be constrained by somebody else dictating the time that I need to be at a particular place, right? Like BC saying, I'm choosing to let other people dictate when I need to be there because I have a particular impact in that space and time. But I can also do that for myself and give myself that confirmation that what I'm doing is dope because I've got my 10,000 hours in X, Y, and Z, and I know how to do this, and I'm passionate about that. So, why am I even thinking about even doing something that's other than what I'm passionate about and I have the most impact in my life about?
Right.
So, these are good questions and good conversations for sure. BC, tell them about the playground.
The playground, it's a lot going on there. I'm not sure if we read now. It's a concept right now. The reason I talk about it is it's basically a digital ecosystem I'm developing. So like it's not a merch shop. It's not a streaming platform. It's not a content index. It's a ecosystem that I'm developing right now to try to interface creatives as a collective instead of them socializing their individual attributes.
How are you going about this?
Huh?
How are you going about this
Man, I'm an idiot that don't have no experience, so I'm just failing over and over again. But I'm good at failure, so I tell people that much. I'm super good at failing. My approach right now, I'm gonna be honest with you, I prayed about it, and like I'm learning that sometimes God, He's not gonna give you the answers, He's gonna make you an answer. So like when people ask me how I'm gonna do this, the significance isn't in my answer to that. It's in the actualization of me materializing it. Like there's nothing I could tell anybody that would suffice their curiosity when they ask how I'm gonna do something as much as they will feel when I execute it. So like the way I'm going about it is, collaborating with like-minded people. I'm expanding the universe of my mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting the light reach corners of my mind that it wasn't reached before. And through that expansion, I'm enabling myself to take on opportunities that I wouldn't know were present before. So it's, continuous self-reflection, self-education, self-actualization. And then once those have matured to the point where I'm ready, I think that it'll be materially socialized. I haven't got to the point where it's material, it's tangible yet. But right now, in concept and in theory, it's my purpose.
Wow, that's an answer. And
yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. That was deep.
And I
it's a lot though. Like my issue with our community is we just didn't have the tools to succeed, in the industries we operate in. So like I wanted to, I'm big on efficiency, so I wanted to create one tool that would leverage enterprise to everybody within our culture. Like I didn't need them to leverage based off of affiliation or budget or marketing tactics. I wanted them to leverage based off of, a commonly shared consumer base mixed with proprietary elements of success within our culture. And if it exists as a singular ecosystem, then we all benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? Like YouTube, they benefit more than the creators. This ecosystem, the creators need to benefit more than the ecosystem itself because they're what supports its expansion.
I jive with this vision.
Right.
I really do. Like you put it into words of how I kind of felt about it. Because when I moved back from Reno, that was one of the things I wrote in my journal, and it was just like, essentially, how it's akin to yours is like just reach that world peace. But I don't know how I'm going to do that. But okay, well, I need to first find that peace within myself so I can build upon and grow upon that, so I can start spreading it in the first place. Don't know exactly where else to go next, but as long as I keep doing that path, it's going to benefit everybody. And I want to create a community that, is for the people that do the work, not the platform. Like greedy ass corporations and stuff like that. Like I understand business is business, but does it necessarily have to be like that? Because it's just for themselves. It does
when the constituents are ignorant and uninformed. Our community has had the resources and knowledge available. We chose other avenues to inform ourselves on. You know what I'm saying? Like the answer's been out there. We as a community got to do a better job at being disciplined to, that particular segment of the information we need. We don't need celebrity gossip. We need to know, the mechanisms that drive engagement.
That's 100% right there.
Nah, these are the guys here. Oh, go ahead, BT.
No, I was just saying, like, the playground, like, it's a weird concept for people to understand on the outside because I'm, like, to be honest, I'm stealing the interface from YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter, and I'm putting them together, and it don't belong to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm upfront with it saying, like, hey, we need a proprietary element that we can socially engage and also have integrated ad revenue. We don't want to outsource our ad revenue to third parties because in theory this is the content that's driving those engagements, so these are the proper suitors for the bounty. But those platforms don't exist, so building the playground is just, we just need the tool to do it for us, because I want to make it so that when people say they want to be a podcaster, they 100% know that the technical elements exist for them to enterprise it on their own. They don't have to rely on an audience. They don't have to rely on an algorithm. They can enterprise it on their own. So like we big on, like, I don't know if people talk about this, but blockchaining content and pretty much tagging a proprietary element to the source, so that no matter how your content is engaged or interfaced, you'll still be the rightful owner. So these ad companies ain't never gonna pay YouTube. These ad companies never gonna pay Spotify. Like, Adrian, if y'all had the best podcast ever, I want there to be a place where you can put it up and get per use consumption. You know what I'm saying? You did 2 million streams, you should get all the money that go with that.
Right.
But it doesn't exist in, you know, the corporate landscape that we live in now. So that's kind of why my business development focus has been shifted towards, you know what I'm saying, the aggregate tools, as opposed to my own personal pursuit of happiness.
That's wow. Gee.
Or it's just a scam for me to make hella ad money. I don't know yet. But if one, either I'm gonna save the world or make hella ad money. One of the two.
Nah, but it sounds beautiful though. I love it. Definitely, like you said, take out the third party and really just, you know, promote our own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what's needed.
But I'll be vulnerable with y'all. Like, my challenge in doing that, it's not like I don't have the answer. It's that, like, I can't just say, like, us in our community haven't been taught how to leverage enterprise.
Yeah.
I personally haven't been taught. You know what I'm saying? I'm still under this material mindset where I need time to justify the development of this project. Because everything else you see when you talk to investors, they're asking you a timeline. It's like, when do I get this money back? When is this successful? When does this happen? And it takes a lot of character to make it happen when you know all of those are uncertain. That's most people's roadblock. Is like, man, if I could tell you this, I would do it. But since they can't tell them that, they won't put all their heart into something. But me, I'm willing to put my heart into it so you can see it was developed from nothing, so its value can't never go away.
Yeah, I feel that. Because how do I want to explain it? It's rather than like getting the investors from selling like the idea and then the return investment, it's more selling them on the purpose and like how you feel about it and your purpose. And the purpose is only as strong as you believe in it and have discipline in it. So it's a super hard character check for sure to make sure that you're able to believe in yourself and the reason you're doing it to help the benefit of everybody else, and find those people that are willing to bet on that. Like, I mean, no matter what, I'll respect you for putting your heart on the line. That's huge. I feel like that's a big step into creating anything. So
it is, but like I'm super critical, because like the way I look at it is like I'm a failure every day that there's not an answer to that question. Like when we talked about at the beginning of the podcast, like what's your purpose in it? What's your reward? What's your end goal? Every day that, you know what I'm saying, I'm part of a community that people don't have, I want to say, like career trajectory mapped out from their own creativity. I feel like I'm letting my community down, you know, and it's not my fault, but I'm the one that's letting them down because I'm the one that's supposed to be solving it. So it's a big ego check. It's a big, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot to bear with as a person, but like part of these conversations is like, this ain't me on a podcast. This is me materializing the conversation that need to happen for that possibility to happen one day.
yeah.
So like that's my approach. I'm just trying to take every moment, like instead of time passing, I'm on the road, I had a long day, I'm on a road trip. Instead of me being fatigued about the time, I'm more excited because like this conversation brings more impact than the time passing by itself would have.
Yeah.
And I got to keep that mindset and, you know what I'm saying, receive everything I can from it so that retroactively this will have made me more valuable as well as the people that participated. And that's where my mindset is.
Right. No, and I love that mindset because that's exactly how I feel at times with the podcast. Like, whatever the episode was about just now, this has made me more valuable than whatever else I could have been doing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could be helping somebody else. It could, who knows what kind of impact this could leave. You know what I'm saying?
And it's an incredible message. The depths and like you kind of alluded to or said earlier is like shedding the light on those dark corners, those hidden corners of your mind. This whole conversation has been real and enlightening for
Beyond.
yeah, and it's all for the purpose for not only us, but it's for audience for just because we want to make this impact. We want to leave people with something. We want to change something. And we want other people to feel the same way. We want people to reach their dreams for their own benefit, for their own peace, for everybody else's peace if that's what they want. And I feel like this whatever I was thinking about time constraints before this episode, like with how late it is, that shit don't matter. So
hell no.
Man. The white man could boss us around a different day. You know, we'll get back to work.
No, absolutely. And I think to kind of sum it up too, right? It's all about the knowledge that we know that we don't know, right? And the knowledge that we don't know that we don't know. And, there's different ways to materialize an infrastructure for us to succeed, right? But if we don't have the certain tool, like for instance, just to keep it tangible, right? Even like being able to do this show tonight, right? BC's on the road in Arizona. We haven't necessarily done a remote call like that on the show, but it's all about the knowledge of how to complete a mix minus to be able to signal to where BC's not hearing himself on the phone, and we can hear everything within the recording.
Shit still make no sense.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people wouldn't even think about that aspect of it, right? Like you just hook it up, and then BC would be calling, and then he'd be like, "Oh man, I'm hearing myself back. Can you turn that out?" And then so if you don't even know how to do that or knew that was a thing, that wouldn't be something. It could hinder your progress because, like, you're just figuring out, like, hey, this is the thing that we have to conquer, figure out, right? Mm-hmm. So, once again, from the knowledge of what we're doing and from the understanding that we've had from our failures and from our successes, right? But there's probably a lot more failures than there are successes.
100%.
So, we have to keep swimming.
And that's the whole purpose.
I think the failures come from reception. And I think that everybody in our community has two roles. You have the role as a teacher and you have the role as a student. And I think we get so caught up in the singular focus of teaching because it's that's what the exchange will bring money back to us, that we ignore being a student. And the more receptive the students are, the easier it is for the community to engage with a consistent theme. You know what I'm saying? If we all want to make more money and we all got the same information on how to do it, then currency is going to be exchanged to a further degree in this community because we understand the life cycle of it. So we need equal students and teachers to be able to, for all of our gifts to manifest and materialize. So that's the dope thing about the platform.
And that's you get both ends of the spectrum. It's the yin and the yang. It's the balance I was talking about earlier, in a sense.
Yeah, because I'll tell this story. Have you guys heard the allegory of the cave? It's my favorite story. It's by Plato.
Please share it.
Okay, so basically this is the short version of it, okay? So there was these people, these three guys, let's say, and they were born in this dark-ass cave. And the entrance to the cave got a sheet over it, so everything that they see walking by is a shadow reflection because it's dark in the cave. Mm-hmm. So they live their whole lives, and all they see is shadow reflections to the point where they're understanding the shadow reflections. Their version, that's the real version of it to them. You know what I'm saying? This bird's not blue, they're all gray. Mm-hmm. So one day, one of the guys breaks out of the prison, and he goes through the sheet, and he's on the outside looking at the real world. And he sees that the trees are fucking green and people have skin tones and facial expressions, and he's freaking out. And he's losing his mind because he don't know how to survive out there because he's never seen none of it, and none of the people out there will believe the circumstances he came from. So he don't fit in out there, and he decides to go back to the cave. When he gets back to the cave, he's trying to explain everything he went and saw, but the people in the cave don't have a point of reference to understand it, so he can't help them. So the people that are making an impact in our culture, they the people that's getting up and getting out of the cave, and where we get, where we have our challenges or where we lack confidence at is because once we got outside the cave, somebody told us we was crazy for describing what we saw up inside there.
Mm-hmm.
And so the message died there to our external audience. And then once we come back to the cave, they think we twice as crazy for describing what we saw on the outside because they never have a point for reference to it. So we crazy on the inside and crazy on the outside. And the creator's dilemma is, how do I share this truth so that it's accepted by all these audiences? Because I just want to help them.
Fuck.
And that's what our big dilemma is.
Yo, you're
beautiful.
spitting, bro. Thank you. That's
Fuck.
No, I heard that story a different way. I love that story because it always reminds me of. It always that right there like takes you back to what they always say about Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? When she was making people escape, she's carried a shotgun not for the slave owners, but for the slaves that didn't want to, or they couldn't accept it or whatever the hell the case may be.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, nah, I'm too commercialized. I'm too stuck in the system that I can't let go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So she had to let that person go, not for the master. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy though. I love that. I love that concept.
Yeah, so that's when I'm talking to people about purpose and stuff. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm reading the gauge on like, how far are you willing to get out the cave, brother?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
are you willing to come back and tell your truth? Because that's where the reward is. Or when somebody say you crazy for making a podcast that don't got no views, you just quit it. You know?
Nah,
So that's
trust
the
me.
testament of our generation and the character that we can develop through the circumstances we were given through alliteration that's been older than all of us.
yeah. You
So the
know,
lives we want is possible, it's probable. We just have to make a considered effort to bring them to life. So I think this conversation is materializing the effort we making. I'm proud of everybody that was a part of it. I got to get ready to hop off the call so I can buy some groceries. But it was a privilege.
thank you for coming. Like, you're
Hey.
kind of cutting out a little
Nah,
bit, but
that was it, bro.
Yeah.
We appreciate it, bro. 100. We appreciate BC for being on the podcast. Hey, thank you, bro.
Yes,
One
thank you,
love.
BC. Appreciate
Always,
it, bro.
always. Call me, tap in. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your people good. I'm gonna make sure y'all good. It's a privilege, and I want everybody to know, like, y'all y'all didn't waste no time. You guys made an impact, and we got to make all of our thoughts start concentrating that way. Where it's like, I might not get nothing out of this, but I made an impact.
Right. No, amen to that, bro. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on here.
If you
and
rinse
making
and
an impact.
repeat that enough, you're gonna save the world in no time, brother.
Amen. Appreciate that, bro.
thank you.
All good,
All right,
man.
y'all.
Yeah,
Y'all be
easy,
blessed
yeah.
and have a good night.
All right.
too,
Yeah.
you
too.
Yeah. One love.
One love. One love.
And honestly, I think that was it. He gave way more than he said he was going to be because time don't exist. So that was an incredible episode.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's it for me.
no.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
No
it. Yeah.
words.
I love it. Yeah, he hit a lot of beautiful marks. Definitely that last mark was just like, I think that's always the main thing that got to me recently too. Like every time I even mention Napoleon Hill or John Maxwell, there's so many people that just don't know about these people, and it's like, damn, these people spit so much knowledge. Y'all have never heard of this person, you know? So y'all never listened to a video like that, you know? And it's like, that's real. That's 100% real, because it's like, damn, it's hard for me to give you a point of reference on what I'm talking about because you never heard of them.
Yeah, it's a lot of people that don't even read books, bro, or never looked at any alternative information, you know?
Yeah.
I spit the 4 agreements all the time, or the 4 laws of creation, or, you know, just different principles that I've learned just based off of, you know, my own particular research. But, you know, you can't expect anybody else to go as far as you're willing to go within any typical medium. So,
No, that's 100.
Yeah. No, I appreciate BC for coming on and dropping that knowledge, and you know that's my whole idea of this particular concept or paradigm is to figure out deeper ways that we can go to just keep swimming, right? Because we're all just swimming in our own way, or figuring out what we have to do to survive or to, you know, get to that destination, right? But like you said, the destination always varies based off of if you can reach it or not, or if it's attainable or not, right? Like we can make goals for ourselves that we may not think is obtainable, but then once you do obtain it and you're there, it's like, okay, what's next? You know what I mean? That's our, you know, particular mindset. Cause I think to sum it up too, you know, you guys have articulated it very well as far as being able to do this podcast for passion and not for views or not for a certain, you know, accolade or for a trophy, right? Or, you know, no one has to give you your flowers. Like, you're gonna give yourself your flowers all the time. But you know, so when people do actually give you the flowers, that gives you even more motivation, right? Because it builds on the resonance that you've already created through your experience and through your actions. You know what I mean? So we have, you know, we could think about things all the time and have a particular vision of what our reality is, and subconsciously, because you think about a certain thing so many times, that may become into existence for you, right? But then when you actually have a paradigm or a perspective or some sort of thing that you want to create, if you put your focus on that and, you know, put enough attention on that and really look at it and know that you accept it and it's yours already, and you appreciate having it, but you appreciate the time that you don't have it, you know what I mean? So it's like you said, it's all a sort of continuum that we have to navigate through and to accept. You know what I mean? And we do it for ourselves. We do it because we love it. You know, we do it because it's a passion. You know, we do it because it's exciting for us. We, you know, there's all certain different ways that we do it, but you know, what is that, right? Is that love?
I feel like at the base of it all,
yeah, that's how I feel about it. The base of it all, yeah, for sure. I fully agree with that. But I think that's it, bro. That's good.
Yeah,
no, I was gonna say, T's, I'll take you for appreciate you coming and taking over the episode and inviting DC on. BC, my bad, BC. Yeah. Mine still boggled, so yeah. But yeah, appreciate you, BC. You know what I'm saying? Shout you out, bro. Be safe. Have fun getting groceries. You know what I'm saying? Trey T's, thank you so much for just everything you did to make this episode plausible. Like you said, I had to shoot that little video because I was like, it's a lot of equipment here right now. Like, the wires low-key give me anxiety when I'm saying PR and shit, but it's like, yeah, it's crazy what we did to make this episode work. So, yeah, appreciate you, brothers. You know.
Oh yeah, all good. Yeah, it's all love, man. Yeah, we on the same vibration in the same path.
Yeah,
and you know, this is meant to be. You know what I mean? Since before we can even think of it.
Yeah.
Right. And you know, I think a lot of people don't know is like we were, you know, we're basically a little behind of like what's already happened, right? So we just need to remember the future sometimes and remember the things to come. And you know, we can get anxiety sometimes because we know that like the quote unquote bad times are coming, but then you have to realize that the good times are there too, right? So like I said, time is just relativity.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's based on how you're feeling at the time.
Yeah. Right now I feel fucking great.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. You know, you guys are my brothers. I love you to death. And
yeah, I love you too, bro.
Yeah, we're here. We're doing it.
Yeah, no, kill it. Yeah, no, for sure did. 1-3, appreciate you, of course, always, Donovan.
Of course.
Yes, sir. Everybody out there listening today, you already know. I'm sure y'all head hurt like my head hurt, because that shit was just crazy. But, yeah, hope take some notes. You might want to go back and listen to this episode over again, because I will.
I will, too.
Make sure to get your Audible book, and you already know how to reach out to us. Hope you guys had a wonderful day, marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming.